Since David is from Bethlehem, Joseph decided to go to Bethlehem because he is a descendant of the house of David. So that's why he went to Bethlehem. And since Mary is from a priestly family and she knows all the prophecies, she told them, I will come with you to Bethlehem. Because she knew that the birth should take place in Bethlehem. And this is how the prophecy is accomplished. With the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem. And with the birth of Jesus, the genealogy ends according to the Gospel of Matthew. Because once you visit the Basilica of the Nativity in Bethlehem, you will see at the birthplace a star having 14 branches. 14 generations, 3 times 14 generations separating Abraham to Jesus. 3 times 14 generations. So with the birth of Jesus, the genealogy ends. So Nazareth was a Davidic tribe, not known at all, never participated in any of the wars against the Romans. It was a simple village. Actually, we are standing on half of the village of Nazareth. If you take the building just the second tile orange roof, this is the limit of Nazareth. Take that limit up to another 100 meters to my right, and it gives you the diameter of the village of Nazareth. Once we take the stairs down, we'll have a look at the left-hand side. You see the ancient grottos. We call them the dwelling caves, where the villagers of Nazareth used to live. With the positive answer that Virgin Mary gave, this site became the most visited area in the world. If you come to the Holy Land, your tour will not be blessed if you don't visit the place where Jesus lived as a human being, where the Word became flesh and inhabited among us here in Nazareth. That basilica was built 5 times. 5 times. Actually, we have built 5 churches at this place. I should say this. Now you know that we have a recent church built in 1950. The archaeologist of the Franciscans said, let us excavate. Let us see what's happening in the past. They unleveled the ground. They found the ruins of a Crusader church. So far you know it. You will see down the remains of the Crusader church. Then he leveled again the ground and he showed remains of the Byzantine church. So far, this is the case wherever. But he said, if I take away the Byzantine ground, shall I find something else? His surprise, the archaeologist Bagatti from the Franciscans, he discovered the remains of a church synagogue from the 2nd century. Church synagogue. What does it mean? The style of the church looks like a synagogue, but it was used as a church. Because this is the place where the Judeo-Christians used to live. You have seen the baptistry. They have discovered the church synagogue. It confirms that there has been here a Judeo-Christian community living and worshipping the place where Virgin Mary was born. And that church synagogues date back to the 2nd century. And he excavated the area and he discovered stones, ceramics, on which it was written many inscriptions like Ecce Maria, Hail Mary, from the 1st century. So when you know that you have only 25 families living in Nazareth, and we have such a tremendous amount of inscriptions, ceramics around one place, I can say that this is the place where Mary used to live. Now you may ask me, but why Mary would be living here and Joseph there? At the time when the archangel appeared to her. Because they were engaged. They were engaged as priestly, from a priestly Jewish families. So according to the Jewish custom, when she is engaged, she is almost married. But before the night of the wedding, she will spend few weeks in the place where her future husband lives in order to know each other better. And this is the reason why they were separated when the archangel appeared. And why engaged? Because she was not born in Nazareth. She was not raised in Nazareth. She was born either in Jerusalem, where her mother used to live, St. Anne, or in Sipori, close from Nazareth, where her father used to live, Joachim. Saint Joachim lives in Sipori. Sipori, remember. Sipori is another important town in the Lower Galilee, located at 9 kilometers to the northeast of Nazareth. Sipori was a huge Roman city where there has been a need for someone like Joseph to work there. Joseph was a professional. Not carpenter, we call it Tikton. In the white book I show you, we mentioned the name Tikton, T-E-K-T-O-N. Tikton is a professional dealing with wood. He used to do finishing works for the doors of for the hands of the doors, for the frame of windows. So he was a professional dealing with wood. And he used to work in Sipori because for 25 families he would have immediately registered for unemployment. For 25 families it will be off. So we believe that the Holy Family used to live in Nazareth, but they used to work in Sipori. Sipori. It's a very famous name, by the way. Sipori. It's a shame that we don't have the time to visit because Sipori has mosaic ground. You will be amazed to hear. But at one of the mosaic grounds, we have the Mona Lisa of the Galilee. The same face of Da Vinci has drawn. You have it on the ground that dates back to the 3rd century. The Mona Lisa of the Galilee, it's called. And it's a Roman village, and we call it the capital of the Roman rule in the Galilee. The Crusaders have built a church over the place where Joachim used to live. So, for you to know, Joseph was a Tikton. It's explained in the white book I showed you. He used to work in Sipori and they used to live in Nazareth. Mary was raised either in Jerusalem or in Sipori, but she was presented to Joseph as a good man who was living in Nazareth, and that's why she came to live close to him for a few weeks before they got because in Judaism, engaged is almost married. Halas, it's over. She's for him. He's for her. But they got to know each other. So, 5 churches were built at the place. The 5th one I did not mention was in the year 1730 when the Franciscans took advantage of the time when the Muslims were doing Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia for 6 months. So they came and built a chapel at the place here because they were not allowed to do it. It was the Muslim period. And in the 1950s, the Franciscans get rid of that small chapel and built the basilica like this. So we're going down and we're getting inside to have a prayer time before we leave. Although you can come back later, but just show you the gate and just make a quick look inside and we will. symbol of Mark. Then Luke, since the Gospel of Luke deals with the temple, and when you say temple, you say sacrifice. So the symbol of Luke is bull, the animal that is sacrificed at the temple in Jerusalem. Then we have John, whose symbol is the eagle, because John let us fly with his theology as the eagle flies. Actually, the Gospel of John deals with theology and with all was not mentioned by the other Gospels. 50% of the Gospel of John deals with the last week of the time of Jesus. Then we have verbum that factum et habitatis nobis. The Word became flesh and inhabited among us. This is the summary of Nazareth. This is really what represents the core of the visit to this place, because this is the place where Jesus lived as a human being for 30 years, and the place where the Holy Spirit became the new alliance, the new covenant, which is Jesus Christ. Then you have the door. To the left of the door, so you have personality from the Old Testament, and to the right of the door you have personality from the New Testament.
Exact place where the synagogue of Nazareth used to exist. Although we have a church that belongs to the Greek Catholic who have built a church synagogue commemorating the place where the synagogue used to be. It's a tradition. But we have a synagogue in Nazareth that used to exist close to the place where Jesus was raised up. And we have a story that is mentioned in Luke 4, the Gospel of Luke, when Jesus was rejected at Nazareth. Just after his baptism and after the temptation of Jesus at Jericho. I'm going to read from the Gospel of Luke, and the story would end at the place where it is related to the story itself, which is the Mount of Precipice. Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and news about him spread through the whole countryside. He taught in their synagogues, and everyone praised him. He went to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and on the Sabbath day he went unto the synagogue as was his custom. And he stood up to read. The scroll of the prophet Isaiah was handed to him. Unrolling it, he found the place where it is written, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to release the oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." Then he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of everyone in the synagogue were fastened on him, and he began by saying to them, "Today his scripture is fulfilled in your hearing." All spoke well of him and were amazed at the gracious words that came from his lips. "Isn't this Joseph's son?" they asked. Jesus said to them, "Surely you all quote this proverb to me, 'Physician, heal yourself. Do here in your hometown what we have heard that you did in Capernaum.' I tell you the truth," he continued, "no prophet is accepted in his hometown. I assure you that there were many widows in Israel in Elijah's time, when the sky was shut for 3.5 years, and there was a severe famine throughout the land. Yet Elijah was not sent to any of them, but to a widow in Zarephath in the region of Sidon. And there were many in Israel with leprosy in the time of Elisha the prophet. Yet none of them was cleansed, only Naaman the Syrian. All the people in the synagogue were furious when they heard this. They got up, drove him out of the town, and took him to the brow of the hill on which the town was built, in order to throw him down the cliff. But he walked right through the crowd and went on his way. So we came to that high cliff where they wanted to throw him away. This is the Mount of Precipice. The Mount of Precipice. And they did not succeed, actually. They did not succeed in throwing him. Because for one simple reason. It was a Sabbath. And on a Sabbath day, Jews cannot overpass the distance allowed for walking on Sabbath, which is 1.7 kilometers. He simply looked at them after he did overpass the distance and told them, you see, you cannot follow me. And this is how he simply avoided the crowd. So let me take you to the top of the hill and let's have a look on the countryside around, and you will appreciate it, I'm sure. Just follow me. This is the Mount of Precipice, again, the Mount of Precipice from where Adam wanted to throw Jesus from the highest cliff. But he looked at them and said, I know you, but you cannot follow me Saturday, it's Shabbat. That's why he said, you are imprisoned within the laws of the Shabbat, stay like that. So,